Good evening, everybody. I am St. Germain.
Good evening, St. Germain.
And I am pleased to be here with all you wonderful people. This is a marvelous place, and your retreat is going so well. And I'm so proud of everybody in this room. You are all growing and doing a beautiful job of expanding your consciousness. And I won't go into all the details of Casey's story about how you got here and all the situations that brought you to this place, so I will just do little smatterings to help make a point tonight for you. As you know, this planet was created in love in the fifth dimension. And when you first came to this planet, it was a very loving, spiritual place for everyone, as you had a wonderful environment, a wonderful playground, and it was envied by all of those in the universe. And through experiences that many of you are Casey fans know of how the energy changed. And several thousands of years ago, especially at the time of Atlantis, that there were dark powers that decided they would control and manipulate the people of the planet. And over eons of time, very subtly, the energy has been changed from that beautiful, loving energy of freedom to be yourself and have the life that you were created as in the image of God. And gradually over time, it got darker and darker, and there was more darkness on the earth, and the energy was actually affecting planet Earth. You see, the planet is a sentient being. It has consciousness. And the consciousness of the people actually affect the consciousness of Earth. So as your darkness was being perpetrated by those around you in your government and culture and religions and various aspects of your life, and that energy was getting deeper and darker, the planet was starting to die. About 70 years ago, the planet called out for help from the universe. And at that time, the universe gathered together to start projecting energy to Earth to help revive Earth and stop the process so it could finally come back into the beautiful Garden of Eden it was created as. You people in this room were part of the plan. Light workers, some people call you. But to come to Earth and bring your light to help lighten the consciousness of the planet so it would be able to come back into its full glory, back into fifth dimension. And as you've become awake and as you've been carrying on in your path of growing, especially with groups like we are meeting with tonight, your light and your consciousness saved planet Earth. This group is one of, if you were to know how many people it took to change this consciousness of the planet from continuing to go into the depths of death, it took 0.5% of the population. It is not the quantity, it is the quality. You people have the quality in your hearts. You restored this divine spark within. You lit up your hearts. You filled yourself with love from head to toe, and you are walking examples of being the light of God. And with this quality, the earth was able to restore and regenerate back gradually into growing into the planet that it was now returning into. You people have done a marvelous job with your sacrifices and growing experiences, your perseverance, and your continuing on the path, staying steadfast, going through long-suffering situations as you've changed your energy into the loving light of God, as you've adapted to new ways to handle your life from what you were conditioned to. You see, as you change, the planet changes. The whole universe changes. You are a very vital part of the whole plan. And without every one of you and those other light workers that are also on this path, and other Casey members and all those in other groups that are on the same similar path that you are, have come into bringing the planet back on its path of recovery. It is important to know that if you are not aware, and I'm sure most people in the room are aware, that in December the energy changed. More light is coming to Earth today than darkness. You left third dimension. Congratulations. It was destined to be by the planets realigning and making it possible as you've gone through the different equinoxes and portals that have been opening. But your energy, your opening of your heart, and your growing spiritually has made the difference. Because you see, God is energy in expansion. And that's what you are doing. And as a group you are doing it. Very successfully, I might add. So you are now moving into fourth dimension even deeper than you did at the January, and so many of you are saying, oh, I now have this illness, I now have this difficulty, I didn't feel this way before, why am I doing this, I don't want to be doing this, it's not like me. And I'm saying that you are changing through the changes of energy that are happening in the planet, and it is all part of the whole process of shifting and changing as you move into more and more of the love of God, as the toxic, negative energy dispels your systems. You are still in a process of growing. And as that energy readjusts and shifts, yes, it will feel like medical problems. However, it's probably more of what some people call ascension symptoms. So I would like to caution you that to stuff your feelings at this point in time is actually going to hinder your progression. Prescriptions, drugs, whatever toxic items that you take in, stuff your feelings and stop the energy from flowing. I suggest you stay in drinking the purest water you can find and the healthiest food available, and using alternate remedies as Casey suggests as you move through these ascension symptoms. Now I would like to mention that these symptoms are no longer, not necessarily, I would like to say, in your physical body, because you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. The earth has also been going through its ascension symptoms. People call them the earth changes. Is it really not surprising that as energy shifts, the earth will shift out of its negativity also? And there have been some tremendous energy released through these changes of energy, with more light coming in and more energy changing around as the darkness leaves. You see, with more light coming in, it is dispelling the darkness, and the darkness is not sustainable in the light. And as you are moving closer and closer into the oneness of God, you are finding yourself to be happier, healthier, younger looking. You will live younger because as you move closer and closer into that healthier, happy energy in the fifth dimension, you will no longer be a third dimensional human being. You will be a spiritual being, and you are outgrowing your humanness. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience, but a spiritual being growing in and rather out of your human experience. And as you proceed on this path, you still have some time to clean out the last of any negative energy in your system, Maybe you have some old trauma that you have not really wanted to look at, some old feelings that you've stuffed away and you say, oh, I'll take care of that at another time. I am here to give you a little understanding that I would suggest not to put off those releasing of the negative energy, but to continue your practice of moving forward. It is up to you at this point how soon you get to fifth dimension. You see you have made it into fourth, and I want to congratulate you. Those that have been leaving the planet through various ways were no longer able to sustain the new energy. So you are of the select because you selected yourself. You brought yourself into this situation and you have been doing your jobs magnificently. Even if you're just sitting in this room and you say, well, what did I do? Just being here today or being in the groups that you're in learning and studying makes a significant difference in the energy. You do not have to be important, a leader, a writer, author that is very famous. You can do it just by changing your own energy. Everyone's energy is the same. Together it is powerful. As you move into fifth dimension, gradually the laws are going to be changing, the economy is going to be changing. There's going to be still some unsettledness. I suggest that you trust God completely, meditate often, stay very centered and grounded, because as those disarray and the crisis continues with issues that you see on the news, here and reading in your newspapers, do not have to affect you. Those experiences will bring those people necessary into an awareness to turn to the light, because they cannot handle it any other way. And if you are, like you are at this point, have progressed to this space that you are tonight, be calm and accepting that you are in the eye of the hurricane, even though the winds are blowing out further beyond you. That God is protecting you through this transition. You are safe in His arms. You will be able to find the peace and serenity after the storm as you move into fifth dimension. That's when the cooperation will be very obvious, that people will be in unity, cooperating with each other, supporting each other. Things will look differently than they do today. There will not be the oppositions and the distorted facts. The truths are coming out. Many, many truths have not been told to you. Your history books are not accurate. They will have to be rewritten. The schools will have to change their curriculums. The banks will change to a system that is not based in greed. The finances will become equitable. There will be no more third world countries. You are coming into the fifth dimension of heaven on earth. Your egos will not run the show anymore, but you will receive your spirit through the mind of God. You will have come home, back home to the Garden of Eden from which you came to visit this beautiful planet in the first place. You have been courageous and very hardworking, wonderful spirits to return your spirit back to the love of which it was created in. You have had your journey. You have gone through your illusions, and you are on the trip home. The light is at the end of the tunnel. I wish you well as you move into your higher consciousness and own the power that is within you. The love that is within you is your power. Claim it, enjoy it. Fun, laughter, and love was your birthright. You are on a path that is going to be more than I can explain with these words, but the ecstasy and magnificence of who you are will finally come into your awareness, and you will be able to look at others through your eyes of love and see yourself. What loving, beautiful people you are. You will look at the blades of grass and see God. You will look at the trees and the birds and the air, and you will know that God is within it all. You will enjoy and be at peace. You will find the peace that passes all understanding. I wish you only the best on your trip as you are continuing on the last part. You will not fail. I salute you all. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sage.